And you did it. I am March. Make it permanent. Make it permanent now.
You have to make this free throw. You didn't even know free throws existed until I told you that 10 minutes ago.
Come on.
You're a fucking dead person. Oh, he fell. There's nothing better than betting with your friends.
Yeah, there's no good angle. Just straight up. That's what it is.
All right, we're live. DraftKings Sportsbook, Scottsdale. My second trip here in like 2 weeks, believe it or not. Here for IceCon 2 weeks ago. Way better weather, hopefully better luck. Thank you guys, everybody who came out. Final Four, we're here. Last day, tonight. A lot on the line.
The road ends here.
A lot on the line. Yeah. Biggest bet I've ever had.
Here.
Biggest bet I've ever had.
It would be the biggest multiplier win I've ever had.
Yeah, I guess it's not the most I've ever wagered. I had $1 million on Michigan to beat Alabama. I'm the Alabama killer at this point. But 600 to win 2.1 million. That's by far the most I've ever won. So I'm not even in the like zone yet of the game starting. We were talking, Dan, on the way over, and I think we agree UConn can't be blown out.
Right.
So I won't get nervous until 5 to 6 minutes if it's close. It's like, all right, we're going to have a close game. I think they're going to kill them. Like, I really do.
I will only be nervous if Klingon gets an early foul. Like, that's my – if the game starts and it's like first trip down the floor, boom, whistle, then I'm like, oh, fuck.
UConn kind of needs to have two guys in foul trouble, though.
Yeah, no,
for
they
it
have
to get real dicey.
Both the big guys.
Yeah.
Klingon,
right.
obviously, I think what the difference is with their backup – what's his name again? Samson? Yeah. Klingon obviously will make Edey work a lot more on the offensive side, and I don't know how Edey's going to guard a pick and roll. I'm confident.
I got a question for you, Dave.
Yeah.
So you stand to win 2.1 milli, right?
Yes. Yep.
So when you hit a big bet like that, do you spend it on? So do you make a big purchase? You make a splash, or are you just on to the next one?
So I probably placed $500,000 bets maybe 6 times in my life. I've done the million once, and then this. When I won the million, I just bet it again right away.
Yeah.
Like, not the full, but it was also the semifinals, the national title. I did like Washington against Texas, so the second that ended, I did $500,000 on Washington. For this, there's nothing else to really. I'm not going to do it on baseball.
Yeah, I do futures right away after hitting
Celtics.
Yeah.
Celtics, or do you have? Sorry, P.T. I was just rubbing your hand.
No, it's okay. It's my elbow. It was kind of hot.
Masters. You could do a Masters ticket if you like someone. Maybe an emotional hedge.
I have a hard
on our
time.
guy Brooks, 18-1, because
he's a scumbag.
You will be so mad if he wins again, right in your face, because that's all he does. He just dominates you.
He does love the majors.
He's an absolute scumbag.
He dominates you.
I have a problem betting the Masters. I can't do it because I thought UConn was going to win the tournament. I didn't think I was throwing the money away. Inherently, if I bet somebody the Masters, I think I'm throwing the money away. So to bet a lot on a future, what's a lot on a future for the Masters? Like $50,000?
Yeah,
that would be a lot. Yeah,
well, if you bet on Scotty, the odds are so
4 to
low
1.
for him.
Yeah, it'd be similar.
That to me is a crazy, idiotic bet.
Yeah.
I could never take someone
the field
at 4
is
to
so
1.
big.
Yeah.
And I haven't been paying attention, but I mean, obviously, you have all the live guys now coming in, so it complicates the field. I don't know.
You could wait till Saturday and then get involved with a guy like 3-4 shots back.
Yeah, but still, you don't know. I don't know. I'd have to. The only way to place a bet that big is you really have to think you can win it. I wouldn't think that on golf.
I just like doing it because it's like, when you put in a future for a season, you have to just sit and watch it for months and months and months, whereas Masters, you get similar prices, and you're like, all right, we're going to find out in 4 days.
Yeah.
You'll have a hell of a bankroll for football then, though.
Well, the odds of me keeping it till football.
Baseball
We got the NBA playoffs coming up.
Hockey.
When I said I had nothing to bet, I meant
Mr.
the next
Ice,
24 hours.
There's a Mr. Ice tax, not only just having to give him some money, but also
Kentucky
betting
Derby.
his picks.
Summer.
Saratoga.
The
You're
Olympics,
talking football. Give me a break.
Forgot about
Maybe
that.
get Miss Peaches a nice diamond collar.
Studded, yeah, I could do that.
Do we have any update on Nate Oates?
I think he's staying. Yeah, everybody was plugged in and saying he's
But he
staying.
hasn't talked to him.
Wait, Rico, you've said this like 5 times, and I don't know what it means, though. Everybody is plugged in.
Everybody
plugged
who's
in.
plugged in thinks he's staying.
But aren't you plugged in?
Yes.
You're
And
the
now I think
most
he's
plugged
staying.
in. Although
He's
you,
staying.
again, didn't know the Calipari was leaving for an hour while everyone was reporting it. You
I didn't believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it. I think he's staying.
And you keep saying that. I don't mean to be a dick because they just said it. But you claim to be very good friends with him. And you keep saying, I think he's staying, people around him, but not you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to flat out ask him.
Give me his number. I'll ask him.
Any intel that they've even reached out yet?
Let's call him. Let's call Oates.
Time out. If I'm really...
I think they've reached out.
Put him on
I
speaker.
don't think.
Yeah, let's call him.
Why would I call him?
You said you hugged him and just see what he says.
Give him the preface.
Yeah.
I think the
Say
people you're on a
want you to call
live, we're doing a live stream, and we want to know whether you're going to Kentucky.
Just give us
I
an
don't
answer.
think he is.
But you don't think he is? Well, all right.
You're hoping he doesn't.
The come down
I
guy
wouldn't
thinks
mind
he
it
is.
either way.
No,
Whatever
you
he
don't
does, he
want-
go to Afghanistan.
You don't want him to go to Kentucky because you're scared of Big Blue Nation.
Yeah, you boxed me out of the Big Blue Nation.
I didn't box you out. I just laid it out that he's got, you've said some things about Big Blue Nation. You think
I
they're
said some
Hicks.
things about Calipari. I didn't say anything about Big Blue
But
Nation.
my point is more on the friendship. If any of us were as friendly with somebody as you're claiming to be,
Right.
you can definitely ask them directly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's still dealing with that loss. Like
I don't know. He was smiling. He was taking pictures in the airport. I saw those videos.
Yeah.
He seemed like
He's
was
a gracious guy. He's a
yeah,
gracious
but he
guy.
seemed more like, oh yeah, I got to a Final Four. Like everyone thinks I'm the new hot coach. Like a mission accomplished.
He's probably having a great week because at the bare minimum, somebody is offering him like $9 million.
Yeah, and he lost as an 11-point underdog.
Do you think that's it for these coaches too? I know he's got the huge buyout, but for him, now the way they do it, it seems like they'll redo his deal.
Yeah.
And he'll end up making more.
Well, he's already done like massive extensions. In the
No, I
last,
know,
like,
but
month and a half,
now
yeah.
he's the Kentucky. Well, you don't have any insider knowledge, but I assume $18 million for Kentucky. I know that's a big
nothing.
number.
They'll make
right.
that happen,
It's,
yeah.
it's nothing. So why
Every
are people-
buyout is nothing.
Why are you saying then no?
I think he's staying. I
But
think he
you
likes.
can't-
I
you-
think he likes where he is. I think he's still
So
got
what is
young
this
kids.
based
I don't think he
on?
wants to move them again.
A coach
You
has
think-
never moved with young kids.
You think?
I don't want to speak for him, but yeah.
Why don't you ask him?
Lexington
still
is
dealing with the
beautiful.
Lexington
Is beautiful.
Beautiful.
See, he doesn't like Big Blue Nation. He's scared.
Keeneland's
It's
absolutely
incredible.
phenomenal.
It's an awesome college town.
He's got the boat on the water. He likes the water.
They got lakes there.
No water in Kentucky.
Yeah.
None.
Summer's not as hot.
Did I hear? Did I read? Am I wrong? That the inside track is Donovan. Did I see? Is that just made up?
That's a name that feels like everyone's talking about.
I feel like they're going to make Hurley say no too. I would
Hurley
think.
would never go.
No, I don't think. I don't think he would.
don't
but
make him
think
say
you-
no.
But I think you make him say no.
I don't think there's any number. Well, there's always a number, but why would Hurley? We talked about this on the rundown. To me, UConn is like Kentucky has no advantages. Over
I
UConn.
agree. I agree 100%. I just think they're going to make some sort of Godfather offer.
And it's
Yeah.
and it's the analogy of you're at UConn. If you win tonight, you now have a lease for as long as you want.
Yep.
It'd be like if like I left Barstool tomorrow, I'd have to go reprove myself. You know what I mean? Like where I'd be like, you'd be under the microscope. Like you go to
Especially
Kentucky, you're
because-
under the microscope.
Especially because you're going to make all this money when you go.
Right.
Everyone's going to be looking.
And
for
everyone's
sure.
like, you got to make this money work. And so whoever gets the new Kentucky job, it isn't like, Cal had a 15-year run where the last 4 have been terrible, but because the first 10 were so good,
Right.
he was able to survive that. I don't think if anyone goes to Kentucky and has 3 years that Cal just had, they'd be gone.
Yeah, I think right now Hurley, if he wins tonight, he could probably just say he's set there for the next 20
For
years.
life. For life.
And to me, again, college basketball, last 20 years, Villanova, UConn, those are by far the 2 best programs. The Big East is not, maybe olden days, ACC, whatever. Northeast, Big East basketball is the best in the country.
Do you think, Rico, they're not going to call Rick Pitino because if they call Rick Pitino, then they got to figure out who to hire after 6 years? Billy Donovan's similar. He's 59 years old.
Yeah,
you got to
I think
already think of who's
so
the next.
You have to factor that in.
You have to factor that
I think
in.
the St. John's people would be pissed if Patino left.
Dave, I know you're a dog stroller guy. Did you see the clip? Of Cal?
Well, a couple things. I did.
Tough luck.
And I saw who was the asshole who your guy, the old Bears quarterback.
Who?
Chase McDaniel.
Oh.
Chase
Yeah,
Daniel.
and he was
Chase Daniel.
I don't think of him as Bear. He was every team's quarterback. But yeah,
Is he a CTE guy?
no.
Because
He didn't-
views like the crown on our head and his speeches. Gaz fucking came over my house, just so he could take an Instagram, and then girls are like, Miss Me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
He left the room. I didn't even.
Did I
like,
not?
How do they know?
Miss Beaches and I were like best friends yesterday. She was sitting on my lap. She was
Well,
crawling all over
she
me.
does-
I like
she
the dog a
doesn't-
lot.
She doesn't know that Mr. Pear is coming.
All right, so back to the Cal thing. What I was going to say, I just wanted your take on the stroller. That wasn't the big asshole move. The asshole move is the fact that Cal is the most talked about guy in Kentucky, and he's walking on the street and being like, no comment. You motherfucker. Everyone wants to ask you.
Yeah, well,
he's just walking like, why do you care?
Was he in Lexington?
Yes, he was outside of his house just walking around.
He doesn't know them shit anymore. He's
Great.
like,
But he was wearing Kentucky
Yeah,
blue.
yeah,
It was a crazy move to be like, I don't want to talk about this, just trying to walk my dog.
yeah,
Give me a break, dude.
yeah, I get.
I don't know what you said. Oh, nine, Memphis, yeah.
He'll be successful at Arkansas. Well, that's the other thing we debated. They're still, I think they would trade one national football title at Arkansas for like 10 basketball. There's no way that's ever going to be, like Kentucky's a basketball school, always going to be basketball.
I think Arkansas is more of a basketball school than you're giving it credit for.
Really?
They've got a tradition there.
Yeah, I think they're a top
for sure.
15.
Won a title.
They're a top 15 job in basketball. They're not a top 15 job in football.
Well, I don't know if I agree with that.
They're not
Why?
a top 15
Why?
job.
Because they haven't been good?
Because they haven't been good. The teams around them are a lot better. They don't have the same history that the basketball program does. I mean, it's
No,
a
I
good job. It's
disagree
an
with
SEC job, but it's not a top 15 football job. No chance.
Oh, I think it's a better football job than like basketball.
Oh, I don't think so.
Just they won with Nolan Richardson, great. But besides, like,
But that team was also, they were good for the 90s. Like, they went to at least two Final
They went
Fours.
to a Final
but
Four in 95.
It was the
Yeah.
same. It was the same guys, though.
Corliss Williamson got drafted in 94, so I don't know who else they brought back. I don't know the team well enough.
I'm pretty sure it was
Corliss
the same.
Williamson was awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the same group of guys, and they really haven't been great since then. So you could say like Florida rose up and had that brief stint, but they're not a basketball school.
Yeah, but Arkansas hasn't done anything in football.
No, but I mean, they're built. Somebody could. First of all, I do think probably if you go way back, they've done stuff. I'm guessing.
I don't know.
I'm guessing they have. Like, who was there before, like, Houston Nutt? They probably have some legendary coach we don't know.
It will be great if Bobby Petrino goes back there.
But I feel like they have all the money, all the facilities, the fan base, the same logo as Alabama. They got it all.
I'm looking it up. Year-by-year results.
Like, it's not like they're Kentucky.
Well, it might have been.
They're not.
The arenas, Bud
Bobby
Walton.
Petrino had some good years. But
Who?
Bielema was there,
Yeah, but
yes.
he didn't do much.
That was, remember that debate when you were
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
they're the
yeah.
best team, which they were actually very good. Yeah, I mean, they have some scattered 10-win seasons.
No famous coach ever.
But they don't.
Nobody had like 10 years there.
Frank Broyles, Lou Holtz was there for a few years. But like it's not consistent. It's not just looking at it briefly.
It's a big football school because it's in the Southeastern Conference.
Right.
So it's like big spotlight. They play against really good teams all the time. But I don't think I would say that the 10-1 I think is way off. I think it's more like it might be more of a 1-1 situation for them.
Oh, I think that's nuts.
They love basketball.
I think they take football easily over basketball.
Oh, they definitely take it easily over basketball. I just think it's way closer to 50-50 than a lot
Like
of other
I guess
schools.
I guess what we're talking about their past success versus like they want to be good. Like they wake up and it's like football season all the time in Arkansas. I do think that's how it is.
Career record for Arkansas is 707 and 515. That's not like
I'm not saying they're like juggernauts. I'm
Yeah.
just saying like they want to win just as bad as
they just don't
Alabama
have the
wants to win.
tradition of like incredible seasons and incredible teams.
See, I think they do have the tradition. They just don't have the success. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like were they in that old conference, right? That old like Southern
Southwest.
Yeah, like they're to me they are a tradition-rich football school. They're not a winning school, which those don't have to be
Four
exclusive.
times in 100 years they finished top 5 in the AP poll at the end of the season.
I mean, how many times was Wisconsin?
I'm not saying Wisconsin's like a
I mean, that's
has
a lot of
tradition.
schools.
They sucked for a very long time.
Yeah, but a lot of school like top 5.
and Wisconsin
is-
probably more.
top 5 is a lot.
No, I'm just saying there's not like the history. I mean, they've won a national title in basketball. I just think it's closer than you think, and I think it's a top 15 basketball job, and Cal is going to.
Well, all right, let's go. UCLA,
Okay.
Kentucky,
Yeah.
Indiana,
Yeah.
Duke.
Duke.
is Francesa.
North Carolina.
Carolina.
Duke, Carolina.
Say Kansas.
I haven't said Kansas.
Kansas.
That's 8.
UConn.
UConn, 9.
Louisville.
Yeah, I'd say Louisville.
Would you say like Tennessee?
No.
I'd say they're about equal. Like, that's
Yeah.
coach dependent on what they're doing.
Yeah.
I would say Michigan.
What about Michigan State?
It's tough because it's just
A lot of
Izzo.
We're giving Michigan, right? They've been in multiple Final
Okay.
Four
Yeah.
different coaches. I'd say Villanova.
Okay.
What are we at?
We're at 11. No, Gonzaga is not.
I would say USC is ahead of it.
Texas.
I'd say
I don't know. USC's kind of borderline.
USC hasn't been great.
I don't think that's. I mean, it's hard to make the argument when the Arkansas coach literally went to USC.
There's a couple that were, I guess you could argue, so I'll say you could argue that one. What else do we have? We already put in Louisville.
Georgetown might be in there.
If you're gonna, I'd say Georgetown.
Okay. But if we went football, it's. I think I can rattle off faster. Football is
Arizona.
Yeah, definitely Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
Good point,
13.
Rico.
Well, this is his MO here. It should be.
We said most of them pretty fast, so.
What are we at?
13.
13. This is great.
I think you could put Arkansas in there.
I don't know.
Why?
I mean, what does Purdue have?
But Gene Katie to him. Those
Yeah,
are
I
like
understand,
two
but
pretty powerful pro.
Nolan Richardson was better than Gene Katie.
Yeah, but Nolan Richardson just
Those are the same. I mean, those wouldn't be.
If you've only had success though under one guy, I don't know that you can say that in basketball.
So would you not say Cuse?
I would take Syracuse, absolutely.
Okay.
Ohio State.
No.
I thought they were like
I mean,
It's also we're talking about money
because
too.
Syracuse is clearly a basketball.
The other
school.
thing I'm factoring in is like what Purdue doesn't have that Arkansas has. Arkansas has crazy rich people that only care about Arkansas.
What about Florida?
Like the Tyson Foods guys, the entire Walmart family, Jerry Jones.
Well, yeah.
That's some insane
Well,
wealth.
then by that logic, you go Oklahoma State.
He's dead.
Boone?
Yeah.
Oklahoma, that's a pretty good college basketball school.
I don't know. I just think the football.
There's probably, from that exercise, 10 that's clearly above it,
Yeah.
give or take, and then you can argue another
you
10
can
or
make it,
15.
But I think that it's lower for football. Football,
Well,
we
yeah,
could
I
rattle-
mean, a lot of the ones that we're saying, like Texas, Oklahoma.
Yeah, you miss like Florida, Florida State, LSU, Ohio State, Oklahoma. I don't even know how we got here.
Well, speaking of who's right and who's wrong,
Oh yeah, Dave and Buster's. Let's do that real quick. What were you gonna say? Who's right?
we may
and
have
who's
to
wrong?
revisit the college basketball
Yeah, we might.
ratings.
We'll see what
you
happens
were,
tonight.
You were peacocking it around like
Well,
you were
I mean,
cock of the walk. I said,
we'll have
let's
to see
wait.
it.
I
Yeah,
said,
we'll
let's
have to
wait.
see.
I don't even understand the stats because they're saying the women's game was more popular than anything in the last 5 years, basically, that's ever been on TV.
Yeah, I don't either understand it either. Like in football games,
Yeah.
No, I think
don't
it was. I
understand
think it
that.
was non-football.
it was non-football.
I think it might have been non-football. You always have to say
All right,
non-football.
look it up.
I think this Ohio State Michigan game had to get more than that.
Yeah.
But it said except the game. It
Oh,
said
okay.
Well, that
Okay.
wasn't on ESPN either, or
Oh,
ABC.
only ESPN,
It was
okay.
ABC, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so Dave & Buster's, last year there was 35 personal fouls in championship games, so this year we're going foul, F-O-W-L, for foul, F-O-U-L. With every foul, we're enjoying a chicken wing from Dave & Buster's, and with all-you-can-eat chicken wings and a $10 power card starting at $22.99 every Monday and Thursday for the duration of the tournament. So tonight, go to Dave & Buster's, and don't forget, throughout March, it was $2 beers, $5 shots. Participation may vary every Monday and Thursday through the tournament. So it's tonight. Go right now, Dave & Buster's. $10 power card starting at $22.99. Terms and conditions apply. You were at Dave
We
& Buster's.
just did the
today.
live show. Yeah, Gilbert Arenas stopped in.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Awesome.
He just was there.
He was there.
randomly.
And
He absolutely torched Doc Rivers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Crazy.
Yeah.
He does not like it.
torched him.
Said it's
He's
like
a
car
he's
having
a
a boot
take
on
guy.
He
though.
laughed at the Knicks making the Eastern Conference Finals.
Did he have any idea who you guys were?
Not really. He
No.
knew Barstool enough. Nick could give a little more color on that. We were already halfway through the show, but Jonathan and Nick kind of approached him, and he was down. I mean, I give him credit. He was open. He was an open book.
He's a big beef guy too. He's got beef with
yeah.
a lot of people.
Yeah, he's a take guy, a beef guy. Who would the Knicks play in the, what's their path right now?
Well,
What are they
he
flirting with?
gave us that we Cavs and Magic, but he just thought the Bucks in the playoffs.
He
would
laughed
smoke
at us that we could
Obviously, the
contend with the
Celtics are
Bucks.
really good.
Yeah, I don't think the Knicks can beat the Celtics.
I hate the
No,
Celtics.
I agree with that too. But the Celtics would be the perfect path into the
Got
Eastern
it.
Conference Finals if we get the Bucks in the 2-3 potentially, or the 3-6, whatever. If we're the 6 or whatever, and then you get the Bucks in the
The
East,
Bucks are
in the
like one of
semis,
those teams-
I think we could beat the Bucks.
They're just getting a lot of credit, and they're just they're just like cruising and losing by like 1 million to bad teams right now.
Knicks just beat him yesterday.
He thought we'd struggle. The Knicks would struggle with the playoff style, more slowed down, like just feed Giannis. He thought we wouldn't be able to defend him in that.
He did say Brunson's a superstar.
And you also have to always factor in the Tibbs factor, which I went through, where he's awesome in the regular season because he gets the max effort from everyone. And then when you get in the playoffs and everyone's trying really hard, it's like, well, we don't have another gear.
Right.
Don't underestimate Doc Rivers' ability to fuck something up, though.
Yep.
True.
He also explained his Jokic takes, which actually I thought he made some good points.
This was interesting.
He rationalized it was just that he was would be the worst 3-time MVP winner if there's only like 5-6 guys. So
the worst 3-time MVP winner.
Out of like obviously like LeBron,
Why?
Jordan.
Oh, just because it's
all the
there's
best
He was saying
players ever.
just because they're like bird, like
list
they're
is
just
so
so
short.
elite.
Yeah, what's the
that
list?
He's the bottom. It's
If he also said this, that they
if he wins-
didn't give him a third right away because the list is so short. So they would look like idiots going backwards.
But if he wins his second,
He already won his second.
no, championship.
Oh, championship, yes.
Then
yeah.
you're on a wildly short list.
But
that you
who's
can
on the
normally
list of 3
justify.
MVPs?
I think
So
because I forgot Shaq didn't, like Kobe didn't. It literally was. I
It's
think
Jordan,
LeBron, Bird.
It's a very short list.
There's only like 2 or 3 other
all right,
guys.
let me
I think.
find out.
I would imagine Kareem.
Kareem.
So that's not
Russell.
like, that's not really a hot, that sounds like a hot take, but it's not.
That's what he explained. He said the clip
he's
kind
like
of got.
they
They didn't ask the question in the clip, so it got kind of.
He would be the worst 3-time
All right, it's
MVP ever.
Kareem, Bill Russell, and Jordan both have 5. Wilt and LeBron both have 4. Moses Malone, Larry Bird, and Magic have 3. So, I mean,
So
you could say
you're
better
saying he's
than
the worst
Moses
of
Malone.
them?
Yeah.
Was his point.
And what changes that? What if the
Yeah,
Nuggets
right.
go win again?
Right.
Then he's probably 3-time MVP.
Well, he also said he should have won his third, and the media held him out on it.
Well, he was
Sounds
saying
like he's all over the
He was
place.
saying he shouldn't have won the first one, but he should have won the second one, and he should have won last year when Embiid got it.
Right.
I think-
was his point.
I think Arenas might
thinks he
just be
should
a
get it
hater.
this year.
I think he also might just be like, does he have CTE?
No, he seemed pretty put together.
Okay.
He was great. He was funny.
I like
open
him. I
book.
just, this argument doesn't really make sense to me. Because it's just like,
It was just a little more rational when he explained it like
being
that.
like
I thought it was a little more.
he'd be the worst 3-time MVP, but he also should already be a 3-time MVP.
He was saying 2 because he said he shouldn't have won the first one.
Got it.
But he should have won last year.
Got it. Okay.
Then they realized.
So you're just shuffling. He's putting
Yes,
3 cards
that's
on
exactly
with
what
his
about. No, he
MVP.
was saying he hates
Yeah.
the MVP, the voting format.
I do too. I agree
thinks
with him
the
there.
players should have
because he said
50%.
he said Giannis should have won the first one, but he had won 2 in a row, so they didn't want to give him 3.
They didn't want to give Giannis.
And then
a
last,
third.
Right.
and then
Now
last
it
year
makes
it happened.
sense. Scott
And then
Legs.
last year it
Scott
happened to him with Embiid.
I retract my CT. That actually makes sense.
I hate the whole MVP. I feel like they care about the most in the NBA, but all sports. It's like it's trophy. I feel like some of those guys legitimately
Think
would
the players
trade.
should have a
It
vote?
only matters for the end of your career when you can be like, I have 4 Super Bowls and 4 MVPs. Like, if you're just
Yeah.
like, I have 4 MVPs, like, okay, well, what
The
else?
celebrations over it are a little bit like just crazy. Like Embiid celebrate. I don't know. Just doesn't do anything for me.
It's like the old, remember when we interviewed Chris Carter, PFT, and we asked him, we're like, would you rather be in the Hall of Fame or have a Super Bowl?
Yep.
And he was like, Hall of Fame, easy. I was like,
Well, he obviously says that because
right,
he
you're right.
never won a Super Bowl.
So you
yeah.
could just like, if you're an MVP guy without titles, you could just be like, well, I was the best.
Here's something you might not know about wireless. Sometimes what you see isn't what you get, but with Visible, what you see is what you get. Switch to Visible, the wireless company that makes wireless visible. Get a one-line plan with unlimited 5G data powered by Verizon, just $25 a month. Taxes and fees included. One-line wireless, just $25 a month. Taxes and fees included. Visible is a wireless company that makes wireless visible. No hidden fees, no really. Unlimited 5G data powered by Verizon. Switch now at Visible.com. Save on wireless with unlimited 5G data powered by Verizon. In times of traffic, your data may be temporarily slower than other traffic. 5G access required, 5G capable device in a 5G coverage area. Monthly rate on the Visible plan. Terms apply. See Visible.com. Switch now at Visible.com. So, yeah, you may be apologizing to me for this, Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, no, and I would if I was wrong.
Because you were...
Because I unlike you, can actually say when I'm wrong.
Well, the tournament
I'm
wasn't
still
over.
waiting for you to tell me that you're wrong about Johnny Manziel.
No, I said I was wrong about
Yeah,
that.
but kinda half.
I said I was wrong about Johnny Manziel.
Half.
Hand
what
up.
about Mac Jones?
What I said about Mac Jones is if you look at Baker Mayfield, after he's done it with the Browns, you would have said failure. He just signed a gigantic
So
contract.
you're still staying strong with Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, and I'm the biggest Patriot fan you're going to find, he was put in an impossible
I agree with
situation.
that. I agree
so
with
let's
that.
see how he does in his second try. Nobody was going to be successful with what they had in New England. So I'll wait, just like you wanted me to crown this ratings thing after the first game.
Well,
And
you
now-
said Iowa LSU, and that's what we would base it off of. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Caitlin
Tonight
Clark,
should
yeah.
be. I think tonight will be a very highly rated national championship game.
You think so?
Yeah.
But everything's trending up. I don't know why.
It's the two best teams. It's also two different parts of the country.
Who cares about Purdue besides Purdue, though?
I mean,
Yeah, but Purdue's going worst to first. Like, that's a
you at
pretty
least-
big storyline.
That already
you at
happened.
least get the Big Ten country involved, like
Yeah.
where it's not, and it's two public schools.
Is it debate what's going to be higher rated, the men's or the women's?
At the
Yeah.
beginning, I said I thought the women's would have higher.
I mean, the
rating.
women put up a huge number,
Huge
just
number.
a ridiculous number. So it would be shocking to me if the men beat that.
Well, no, Duke NC State was at 15 million.
Well,
So-
it's also Duke.
yeah, no, I know, but that was a Elite Eight game. This is the championship game.
And that was that on a Saturday?
That was on a Sunday.
It's on a Sunday. So
Same time slot.
Monday night, was it start 9?
It's way too late.
9:20?
Way
Oh,
too
it's
late.
Eastern.
That's what I'm going to do. That's how I'll get out.
Yeah,
of this.
9:20. It's too late.
9:20 is too late.
No one's up.
You agree with that?
It is too late. I mean, it's
Oh,
good
thank
out
you.
here,
Clip
but
that for me.
it is too late.
It's way too late.
I actually I don't even know what it was. I got a random email from some investment bank saying they're starting some women's league and like Brianna Stewart's involved and all these players and whether I want to invest.
Oh, I think I got that same
I
email.
was like, are you guys going to let Caitlin Clark
Yeah.
in the league?
It's like live sports, but for basketball.
Yeah, that's what it kind of seemed like.
They're
I like
all
that.
backtracking.
Oh, they backtrack.
So funny.
It's women athletes. I don't think historically end up in the blender of social media.
Yeah.
Everyone came out in Caitlin Clark's favor, and they all backtracked. Like, oh, this is interesting. Like, they
Yeah.
were getting a lot of hate from being like, why is everyone hating on Caitlin Clark? Who, as you said, Dan, seems to be. I've never heard. Now I know the PMT guys like to sexualize her.
We've
and-
never sexualized Caitlin Clark,
and
not
like-
one single
and
time.
like to make fun of the way she plays.
Not,
and
no.
What?
The only criticism I ever had of Caitlin Clark was when she
got elbowed
assaulted
in
the
the head.
Ohio State fan and flopped. That was it. That's
That
the
was-
only bad thing
you
I've ever
guys
said
must
about
have-
her.
Hank must have had a meeting with PMT, and the ratings must have been a little down because at the same time, it was Taylor Swift. It
No,
was Caitlin
they were
Clark,
different
they
times.
missed
Checked
No.
in the box.
Exactly.
Oh,
Listen,
Oh,
Taylor
that was-
Swift was using Travis Kelce
Dua
to
Lipa.
brighten
I-
up her star.
I
We had to
actually-
call it out.
And I think people appreciate that we're honest, where we're not going to just go crazy for Caitlin Clark when she clearly assaulted an Ohio State fan, whereas you just are blind loyalty. It's crazy. We called it like we see it. We
got
like.
elbowed.
I love watching her play basketball. She flopped in that situation after she lost, and I don't like the post-loss flop. Just like Filipowski. Like I
Filipowski
don't like
tripped
that.
a guy. She got run over.
I also
Yeah, if LeBron did that, you would have been all over him.
LeBron has a long
All
story.
over him.
LeBron has a
All over him. I'm
long
saying I'm the one
storied
staying
history.
consistent here.
Habitual liar.
Yeah, thank
But
you.
no, we like Caitlin Clark, and she's awesome to watch, and I think
Yeah.
she's going to be awesome in the WNBA.
And I love the hate too.
Yeah.
I think it's healthy for for an ecosystem of sports
100%.
to have the old heads being like, yeah, the young kids can't play in my league.
That also made this whole run and women's better to watch or more interesting because you knew there was real hatred for her
Yeah.
with the team she was playing, so it
Yeah.
causes tuning.
Dave's saying I sexualized her because one of the South Carolina girls yesterday, fouled her in her tit, and I said that. If a guy gets hit in the balls, you say a guy gets hit in the
You
balls.
got hit in the balls, yeah.
That's why you call it.
Or if he gets hit in the tit. I say a guy
if he
gets hit in the tit.
That's what I just said. It was just she got hit in the tit.
You were like, she grabbed her boob.
No, I did not. I said tit.
You were like,
big difference. Boob and tit are
you
big
were like
difference.
Clay Travis that time he went on CNN.
Oh, yeah. Boobs. I love boobs. Fucking dirtbag. What a dirtbag.
Yeah, no, I think it's been good. Like all the hate has been good, and also it was funny to see the ESPN simulcast of the people that were hitting on her, and they were all UConn players. All of them across. Because it's like in football, if you play for the Dallas Cowboys, you have a job on TV for life. For the longest time, UConn was the dominant. It was the center of the universe for women's basketball. So you go there, you'd beat everybody in the league because the talent pool wasn't as big, and then you just transition to being in the WNBA, and then after that, you get a job for life at ESPN.
And they joined super teams.
Yeah.
Like they joined super teams, won titles, and they're like, Iowa has never, they went to an Elite Eight before Caitlin Clark got there, but it's not like they were a powerhouse.
It's like Phil Hellmuth winning 9,000 World Series of poker bracelets before it exploded.
Right.
And there's like 12 people in his
Yes.
tournaments he's winning.
Yes.
It.
Right.
So it's very different. I will say credit Rebecca Lobo. She did come out and be like, I'm seeing all the hate for her. I get it. Play hard defense, make her prove it. But like at the same time, I'm not sure all these other players realize we've been complaining for charter jets more pay.
Right.
This is the meal ticket. This is the once in a generation who has caught everybody. Like, I'll 100% watch on the NBA. I mean, WNBA. And I'll watch her more now because of the hate. Like, I want to see. If everyone was like bringing her in, maybe it's not as interesting, but.
I like that she's going to Indiana, too.
I know. I wish.
That's perfect.
Yeah, so perfect. I wish they had a team in Iowa. She could stay there. Like,
but it's close enough.
They're going to be a great team, though.
Yeah.
They got the first pick last year, too.
Yeah.
Who do they have to have another?
Boston?
Yeah, Alicia Boston, the South Carolina player.
Yeah.
Alicia Boston, yes.
Yeah, that will be great. By the way, DraftKings, we're here. College basketball tournament has been one for the books. Big plays, even bigger wins. The tourney might be nearing the finish line, but there's still time to get your bets in. We've teamed up with DraftKings Sportsbook, and right now, all new customers who bet $5 will instantly receive $150 in bonus bets. Download the DraftKings app now and sign up using the code STOOLMADNESS. The crown is yours. Also, for people who are watching this right now, Wednesday at 8 a.m. Central Time, we are starting the Barstool Mini Golf Open, and we have a free-to-play. I think it's a $25,000.
$25,000 in cash prizes given out. Top, I believe, 500.
Oh no! For the 5,000
people get money
in the free-to-play
out of the cash pool.
Yeah.
So they ask questions like who will win, who most putts, all these eliminator questions.
It's going to be awesome. So if you want to get in, I mean, it's going to be great watching. So you might as well have some involvement, and you can potentially win some money. And it's free to play.
Yeah,
it's going to be so much fun.
I heard we have a rules official.
Yeah,
which I don't
Really?
I don't know if they've been briefed on. Like, I asked that to Dan because a common rules official is going to come in and think it's a civilized event. This will not be civilized. This is like you could get hit in the back of the head with a steel chair.
Yeah, like we need to tell this rules official, like, hey, move your family into a hotel for the week. Because Kirk is coming.
I don't know how we found him. We're like, you're a rules official, but are you cool?
Yeah.
Like, do you get it?
Like, can you be told that your house is going to be bombed?
Right. Well, you got to show a Kirk highlight tape before you accept the job. You're like, if you can take this.
And then you got Frank and Whitney. It's going to be a lot of the rules official is going to have the hardest job in the world this week.
I hope this guy's worked with Patrick Reed before. That would be a good prep.
Yeah. But it's going to be awesome. I'm very excited for this week. It's going to be one of those great Barstool events.
So, I guess, Dan, you're not doing anything but your UConn future.
No hedge, nothing else.
What are you three doing? I know you have a little future.
First half in game.
I have UConn. I've got a parlay, a future parlay of UConn, Denver Nuggets, and then Juan Soto MVP.
You told me that.
Keep me tied through over the summertime. I think it's 33-1, 32-1 maybe. So I have that, and then I have UConn to win by 10 to 13 points. It feels right, doesn't it? It feels like 10 to 13 points.
Yeah, I started being like, I love it at 10, but you got to really hit a bullet there with the 13.
Yeah. No, it's
what is that odds?
It's the dumbest bet. I think it's a plus 475.
Oh, okay.
What's the biggest? Like what? Like I could see them winning by 20. Like what is it?
I
think it's like 16 to 20. I saw it was like.
Well, I don't want to cap it. 20 plus.
21 plus was 3.5 to 1. I want to say.
On my phone.
I'll pull it up.
It's got to be more than that.
No, because you get everything after 21. So you don't have to hit
so
it
it's
three
like
if it's
less.
that far.
Yeah.
We tried to get a prop up for whether or not Andrew Hurley will get into the game tonight.
Yeah.
That would
Which
be
I
good.
said is just essentially just bet the alternate spread line.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Same.
That's the
exact
same
thing.
prop. It would be great if we had a shot. Yeah, if he made a shot.
I haven't heard anybody, and it would ordinarily make me nervous, but I feel like everyone's been on UConn this entire tournament. I have been saying I think there'll be a scare somewhere along the way. I guess you could argue that Alabama was a scare, even though they were up from 12 minutes on. But, like, does anybody have Purdue today?
I saw a bunch of guys I follow who are like, my numbers say it's more like a 4-point game, but then everyone ends up picking UConn because they're like, all they've been doing is covering spreads. Forever. There's the 11 straight spreads they've covered, and the spread has gone up every single time. I mean, this is probably the lowest it's been for a while. I don't know. I can't remember what it was in the championship game last year.
I want to say it was 21 plus.
8.5?
You might be right. I thought it was like 7.
21 plus is plus 750.
You know what makes me nervous, though? Like, all of us up here are just convinced it's UConn by a mile.
I'm not convinced
that
they're
makes
by
me
I didn't say
nervous.
by a mile. I think it's going to be close
convinced-
till about 6 minutes.
I'm not convinced it's by a mile either. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think
Till
we're going to have
6
to
minutes.
really earn it. I just trust them to figure. Like I've been saying
They'll
all
pull
tournament, every question that gets thrown at UConn, they have a solution to.
I like them so much that if this bet was separate, what I have, and I won it, I would put it all back on them versus spread. That's how much I love UConn. That's why people are like, why aren't you hedging? Why aren't you doing this? Because I love UConn.
Right.
Why would
You're
I
in that
take
spot,
anything
yep.
off? It's like this. Everything about the tournament has gone wrong for me, except I thought UConn would kill everything.
The only thing that would make me nervous is if Patrick Mahomes is playing for Purdue tonight. Then I would be nervous.
That would make me nervous. I will say the yearbook thing that kid
That's a
tweeted,
little scary.
So some idiot was like
In 2020.
I also would like to see some research. How many of those kids? Where was the school? West Lafayette.
Yeah, but why would you pick 2024?
I know, but how many times has some kid said that?
Done that.
Right?
So that would mean it would be his senior year after
Right.
Purdue,
In
right?
college.
Somebody
good point.
Yeah.
I didn't explain it, but somebody had a yearbook photo. Purdue will win the national championship 2024.
Yeah, if he was. Yeah,
he just
was
wanted to
going
see
to
a Purdue.
Purdue.
It was
his
his
senior title.
It was his high school.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
but he was going to Purdue.
He's going to Purdue. 4 years later, it'll be his senior year. He celebrates as a senior.
Okay.
he's trying to manifest it.
Yeah, I hope.
I
he
just would
doesn't.
like to see how many Purdue will win the national title in 2023 were out there.
Right. Yeah, I understand. It's
Yeah.
like when someone gets a tattoo. It's like
Exactly.
they show one, they pick their arm
Exactly.
up.
Yeah.
Every year, Buffalo Bills. There's
that-
always the Buffalo Bills.
If that kid had a Fairleigh Dickinson will beat Purdue in the NCAA tournament 2023 tattoo,
Then
then
you
I'd
gotta
start
worry.
Yeah,
to
then you'd
pay
be
attention to
very,
that.
very worried.
Then you gotta
Exactly.
worry.
Then we're in on that.
I don't. If Purdue wins, the odds, it actually may be one of the most ridiculous stats in all sports that both Virginia and Purdue,
Yeah, no, it'd be
Yeah.
crazy.
only number one seeds to lose in the first round, both come back and win next year.
It would be insane.
That's crazy.
It would be a great spin zone though for the next one seed to lose.
100%.
Yeah.
Like right afterwards, the fan base immediately will be like, "Well, we're winning
Title.
next year."
Yeah. Is that just the focus that goes into being like embarrassed on a national scale?
I think so. I think you get that embarrassed, and you have to be like, "Well, I can't let that ever happen
just
to me."
lock
And
the
Purdue
fuck
was
in.
specifically last year, they had a shitload of freshman guards that choked, and then they got older.
I just don't see how the guards are so much bigger, like you've been saying.
Yeah.
Dan. I just don't see it. I just don't
And
see it.
UConn just has they had
What's
all
that?
5 guys.
No, I like UConn. I everything. Now, again, I would have lost UConn first half against Bama. I'm not touching it because nothing makes sense for me to bet since I have so much on the thing. Like, I'm just going to let it roll. But if I was betting it without this future, I would just hammer UConn. I wouldn't touch first half because basketball is basketball. And UConn, they would have lost this first half. They would have lost the first half against Illinois. It was tied at halftime.
No, they were up 6. I think they would have won that. They were up
thought
6.
they were tied at half.
No, it was 29-23, and then they went on their
30
because that was
run.
part of their 30-0 run. Was
So
the
it's
first half.
26.
It was 23-23. Then they went up 29-23 at half.
Got it. All right.
Yeah, and then they got to 53-23.
Speaking of bets, what do you think about the parking spot game? Cashed out?
Yeah, I lost. So that was a really stupid bet by me. I just caught up in the moment of Tate, his dad, saying he always wins Indiana games, lucky parking lot. I didn't know the odds when I did it, and I was just feeling so. I'm living in a different mind space because of this bet I have. So like $100,000 is a shit ton big bet. I don't bet that very often. I'm like, oh, I got millions I'm about to win. I threw it on the Indians or the Guardians versus the White Sox, and then 2 pitches in, I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
So it became 1-0 Guardians. I just got out of it. I didn't make money. I didn't lose money. They would have won, but it was like 100 to win.
And the White Sox had an opener. They were doing a bullpen game, and the opener had like 5 strikeouts.
Yeah,
in the first
he
2
was on
innings.
pace
His
to break.
over/under for strikeouts was 1.5.
4-0 final.
Yeah, no, I know.
know.
Rico.
Just recapping. I'm recapping.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah. No, I didn't know the final, actually. I knew they were up.
It was 4-0 in like
He's just rubbing it in his
the
face.
9th.
Yeah, I know Zach Edey and the refs, but what it is concerning to me. Donovan Clingan does a very good job of moving his feet and not fouling. And I also think that it will be like, I think the refs are going to realize that everyone wants to watch these 2 guys play and not try to do the ticky-tack shit. Like, the thing that will bother me is if it's a foul, it's a foul. It's the Zach Edey, like, loose ball, stuff like that will drive me nuts. But UConn also has a big guy that can come in, and I think they'll probably sit Donovan Clingan. I mean, he doesn't play a ton. Zach Edey plays a ton of minutes. He's insane how, like, his stamina. Clingan doesn't play.
He doesn't fucking move.
Yeah, but still, he's so fucking
He
big.
just stands there.
Yeah, he's so big.
He does move his feet a little bit.
But I mean, like, it's honestly like just playing with a really tall kid in elementary school. He just gets a rebound and like dunks it on you and then on like the 7-foot jammer.
I think the biggest part of this game is going to come down to watching Purdue all year. It's not even Zach Edey will score in the post because he scores in the post every game. It's the mid-range shots that Purdue misses that are automatic Edey rebounds dunks. And he does that. That's probably 10 points a game that like a bad shot from Purdue is actually like an assist because he's so much bigger than everyone. If UConn can just not let that happen, then they'll be in good shape.
Is this the biggest guy he's played against?
Yeah, it's the first time 2 7-footers have played against each other in the tournament.
Because I saw Edey say, he's like, I played against a lot of big guys in the Big Ten.
I mean, who's the other big guys? I'm trying to think. Kalkbrenner. Did they play against Creighton this year?
No, I don't think they did.
No, I don't think they did. No, they did. They played against Creighton in Maui. Yeah.
Yes.
Even I think he's only like 6'11".
And he doesn't play.
He's 5 inches on him.
He doesn't play like
that. He mixes out high post.
Yeah, he's kind of soft.
It's going to be the guards for Purdue are the X factor. If they can hit their threes and they can, deal with the size of UConn, that's Edey's almost like an automatic. He's going to do what he does. It's when they hit everything else, that's when they're a really, really good team.
Yeah, I just don't. The guards are going to be really tough to shoot over, I think. So we'll see. High Noon El Prez Pack is here featuring my 4 favorite High Noon vodka seltzer flavors. That's passion fruit, pineapple, pear, tangerine's new. It's fire. I don't know if they got it here, but it's absolutely fire. The 12-pack only here for a limited time, so get it while you can. Just look for the pack with my face on it. You can use a QR code. It's like a mini-me. Will join you wherever you are. HighNoonSpirits.com. Find the El Prez pack nearest you. You know what? They have the ads twice on here. I almost read the same thing twice.
I'm trying to look.
No, we're good. That was – who are you looking up?
I'm just looking to see who else he's played that's tall.
What else? Oh, there were other things. What else were we talking about today on the? WrestleMania. Is anyone up here a wrestling guy?
No, not really.
You're a wrestling guy. So I was a wrestling person like growing up. My timeline was all like WrestleMania is the greatest event of all time, and I'm reading all the stuff underneath the comments. And I respect wrestling people. They're acting like it's the game tonight. Like the results. Like, can you believe this happened? And unbelievable that he got the pin. I don't get it. It's like it's beautiful, but I don't get I don't know how they still do it. And Dan showed a clip of like a 4-year-old crying.
Made me almost cry.
But then there's a 45-year-old crying. So I think
some people. Wasn't there some big like Cody Rhodes storyline?
Yeah,
with like his dad or something.
He completed his story arc
because his dad never had the title. Now he has the title.
Some people age out of it. Some people don't.
No, it
seems
crazy.
like that people you're a lifer or you're not.
And the pup that they have for it is like
they sell out big spots.
Thank you, Rico.
Wrestling is
Rico
popular.
Bosco. WrestleMania sells out.
I'm trying to find.
Excellent.
Who else
There's clearly some diehards. That's all I'm saying.
A lot of diehards.
Yeah.
Not some. A ton.
You think we should have a wrestling podcast?
We had one once. It didn't perform.
Oh.
It's going to hurt him.
I didn't know.
Nobody clipped that and sent that to Brandon Walker.
No, I don't want. No, don't do that.
Don't do that.
He did have one clip that went viral. So he was like, look at the numbers. We've had 10 million views. It was going for a year, and like one video had like 9.9 million views. The rest had like 20. Listen, Robbie Fox asked me, he said, Carabas is coming on his wrestling podcast, so we must have something still, no?
He dogs wrestling on my mama's basement.
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly. And I like wrestling's uber popular. Like people love it. There's no doubt about it. You have everybody involved in it. Undertaker comes back. Logan Paul. That guy's Speed. I mean, people love it. What's his name came back? The Cena. The clips are all over my timeline.
The commentary is just hilarious.
That
makes me wish I got into it when I was a kid because they do make me laugh. They're unbelievable.
When the announcer's like, can't believe that some guy's getting away with it.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't call Mr.
He's
McMahon.
He was like, John Cena's rearranging the furniture. Yeah. He's like knocking everything over.
What's this referee looking at?
Jesse the Body Ventura was like one of the originals. He was unbelievable with who did he do it with? I don't remember. It was Jesse the Body and someone else. But yeah, that's why I went with Dan and I left after 10 minutes.
Yeah, he did. He was like, what am I doing
here? It was so, because there's no commentary. You're just watching. It's awful. You're watching a silent, like
stunts.
Yeah, you're just watching it with no like voice. And I don't know how anybody can like the live aspect of wrestling. I'll get maybe the walk-in, but once the match starts, it's horrible. They should pipe in the commentary, then you got something.
I got to roll up like Steve Bartman and have the radio on.
Yeah,
in
right.
your ear while you're watching
What
it.
am I to say? I mean, they sell out every time. So what do I know? Yeah, that was 2 days. Crazy how much people love it. It's not crazy, but people love it.
I wish I was still into wrestling. I just don't have the time. Maybe like my kids will get into wrestling because I do like it. I do like the idea of like letting yourself go and being like, I'm just gonna believe this.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I still will get caught up in old wrestling clips from when I watch that, like Booker T and like Stone Cold in a supermarket, like pouring milk on each other.
Yeah.
Very
Stone
funny.
Cold with the fucking Zamboni or the beer truck.
Yeah. The beer hose.
The best, the beer hose.
When he was beating Vince in the hospital.
Fucking best.
First time I saw that, I was like, how did they let him do that?
That Attitude Era was just incredible.
Unbelievable.
All great stuff. Well, we know we had that win for Tate, which his dad continues to kill it. What else do we have? The solar eclipse didn't happen here. Just didn't happen.
No.
Not in the path of totality.
Hank was convincing us yesterday that the world was going to end. He said the fourth dimension was going to open up.
Well, I saw a lot of people saying there's somewhere something that it's earthquake, eclipse, end of the world.
Yeah.
Hank was saying that they opened up a CERN collider in Tennessee, which I didn't think was true when I heard. I'm pretty sure the CERN thing is over in the middle of Europe somewhere. I had a particle physicist hit me up today, and they're like, hey, just tell Hank that if he continues to screw things up, I'm going to turn the collider on him and destroy him. Mincy had a good time with the eclipse.
Yeah, we need to do a better job of bringing these people, like we need to bring them to light after they predict that the world's going to end. Like, we need to have these people go on all the news shows the next day and just be like, what happened, buddy?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
Shame
We're
them.
still here.
I know you're a political guy and pulling the strings behind Billy football. I thought, and it shows how, to me, detached all politics are, but the Democrats really thought they were running like an impactful hit campaign on Trump.
Did you think...
By putting like him looking at it without the glasses.
Did you,
It's like
did
the
you see
funniest
Hillary
thing.
Clinton did it again today? She, like, doubled down on her tweet. She's like, just a reminder,
Yeah,
don't look in
no,
the sun.
that's why I said it.
Trump
Jesus
looking
strong.
directly
You
in
know
the
how
sun
hard it
is the
is?
most alpha move of all
How hard
time.
that fucking is to do?
It's
He
crazy.
stared at the sun, and the sun blinked.
Also, did you see a very funny, they were like, you know, back in 2017, Odell Beckham looked directly in the sun. There was a clip of him just staring at it, and then someone showed his stats, and he hasn't made a Pro Bowl since then. It's like he just doesn't have eyesight anymore.
That's one of those things I just don't believe. Like that
Well, you shouldn't. Whenever you look in the sun, it fucking hurts.
It hurts.
It's like
Correct.
there's no difference.
But that there's like irreparable damage on a solar eclipse
Right.
to look at. That's just hard to
There was a funny clip.
I won't do it, but it's hard to believe.
There was a very funny clip of a kid. He looked like he was like maybe in middle school, and he had a big magnifying glass, and he was trying to like show off that he was going to put a piece of paper in front of it. And he put the piece of paper where he should have put his eye, and he put his eye where it magnified. He was like, oh, fuck.
Jesus Christ.
100 times in his eye.
I actually bought a telescope for in the Hamptons. I've wasted more hours trying to figure out the telescope than anything I've done in my life. Impossible. I'm like, this will be cool. No like smog, no nothing. Look at the stars. I like that. My dad, I've told this story. He denies it. It's a fact. I heard it. He thought the planet Saturn was named after the car.
Oh, my God.
We did we're in Arizona. I took them for their birthday, their anniversary, and we're in like Sedona, and they had a class for it at night. It was pretty cool. You could see Saturn so clearly, and he just an all-time Mike Portnoy line.
The best clip was that newswoman. Did you see that one?
Screaming.
I have it. It was
Unbelievable.
it reminded me of what I said. It reminded me of a Susan Waldman. George is in the box.
The most unbelievable.
It started.
Oh my God!
It started slow too.
Roger
I
Yeah.
was like, this isn't going to be good, and then she just went ham. The weather people do that. That's their.
I have the just when it gets good.
Just for a minute, just for a second. But I'll take it. I will take it. Look at it. Oh my God. We got it.
She sounds like she's like they did it.
Yeah.
Like they
Well,
they
she
willed
said it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
she
willed
said
it.
the crowd's going to will this thing to happen. I saw a lot of people in New York saying it didn't really work there either. like that it was a big
Yeah,
dud.
it wasn't directly in the path, I don't think.
Totality. That is a great line, by the way. The
Yeah,
path of totality.
That's like an
Totality.
NFL coach line. Like, you got to get in the path of totality.
The clip from Cleveland was cool with all the guys on the field, and it looked like a night game
Yeah.
at like
Yeah.
4 in the afternoon.
Yeah. I saw that.
Animals were freaking out a little bit. Dog
Yeah.
walker told me Blake freaked out on his walk today.
I had messages about, not because people knew Peaches being like, watch her because they go crazy like full moon, but we didn't have it here, so no worries.
No issue.
Yeah. Well, animals sense it.
I'm trying,
Anything else?
I'm trying to find the kid with the telescope. I'll find it later. Someone tweeted at me, please.
So I think Hank has a trailer for mini golf.
Oh.
Well, that won't do us good here. We can end it with the trailer. We only have like 5 more minutes to go on the show, so might as well talk ball. End it with ball. What we expect, final scores, over, under. We're in DraftKings, so you can place your bets here, cash bets, phone bets, all bets.
Yeah, I'll just say one last thing about the game because obviously I'm not betting the game, but this would be an all-time loss for me, not just because of what's at stake, but because of my rivalry with Purdue and Purdue just having that one over everyone else because they've been a joke. That would really it would be very, very bad, disastrous.
I told you I don't feel as nervous as I did when I placed the Michigan bet because since Michigan, and I'm due for a letdown, I won the Michigan, I won Washington, I won the Chiefs. Those are my 3 biggest bets since then. So I'm actually I'll be way up. But when you have to take, like Michigan, I took the money out of my bank account, wired it to DraftKings, placed the bet. For this, I'm kind of using the money I already won with.
Right.
So it's a different, I'm playing with house money, and it's always a little more relaxing when you're doing that. Having said that, I'll never, most likely, be in this situation again.
Yeah.
With a chance with somebody who is a big favorite to win this much money.
Right. Yeah. Like
'Cause I'd
saying
never, I
you're
don't
a
think, put-
7-point favorite in the national championship
And all they got to do is
2
win.
million?
All they got to do is win.
All they got to do is win.
What's
Rico,
that? No hedge.
no hedge.
People have been up my ass about the hedging. I don't think they understand hedging. Well, they understand it, but even like the real gambling people who have been hit with me like EV, expected value, like why would you hedge? You don't hedge. And I'd only hedge if I was worried. If I thought, hey, Purdue can beat them, then that's a little different. I'm convinced UConn's going to beat them. So it's a ton of money to put $100,000, which is essentially what I'd have to do to hedge. That's a shit ton of money. I'd rather just bet that on a baseball game tomorrow when I win, hopefully I win, than just throw it away on something I don't believe in. So
Yeah. And
no hedge.
I also think it's like you also are like either a hedge guy or not. Like I've never been a hedge guy. I make the bet and I'm like I hope it wins, but when I get to there I'm not. There are bets that I'll make where I'll be like this will be a hedge bet, but it's not. That's not this case.
And nothing has happened the entire tournament that's changed my philosophy on UConn. It's just reinforced it that they're head and shoulders above everybody else. So,
and they got sleep now
yeah, they need to
after
sleep.
Rico
They're back.
fucked up their planes.
Yep.
All right, so what are you guys gonna pick?
First half in game. There's
UConn?
nobody I'd rather have. In
Why
short prep.
why first half as opposed to just all game?
Just because I think they're so strong. I'm taking both.
But you'd win the same if you doubled it on game, right?
They've also been
Yeah.
a great second half team.
Yeah, that's when they
Every second half, they just step in your
So
throats.
it's only 4. I don't know. I just think.
So
they
what's
come,
the
they-
logic?
I
Because
didn't
they
think they
could-
played great in the first half. I think they come out now, and they played better in the first.
Oh,
half.
I thought they
So I'm gonna
played
take
very
both.
good in the first half.
But not
Alabama just hit all
yeah.
their threes. They hit 70% of their threes. You can't like that wasn't.
I
they
just don't
hit all their
understand
threes.
the logic of why if you
Just
think
the action. I want the first half, and I want the
okay,
game.
all right, that's a good answer,
Yeah.
Rico.
That's a great
That's
answer.
what I want.
That's what Rico wants. What Rico wants, Rico gets.
Relatively.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Watch this, Dave.
Oh yeah,
He just blasts himself. We don't know. He's about to do it.
Oh my
Look
God.
at this. Bang. Oh, yeah,
no.
he got it up there. Yeah.
Oh, no.
So good. Yeah, I got UConn 14-1, 10K to win 150.
he told me that when he placed it, and I didn't do it. But
I said in December, I texted Dave right after they lost to Kansas, because who didn't play in that game? Did Castle not play in that game?
I don't know.
Someone didn't play in that game, and they played Kansas super tight, and it was a true road game, and Kansas was full strength. And I was like, UConn's just as good, and their numbers going to go
Ironically,
down.
Kansas probably wasn't the best barometer after all.
Yeah,
either.
well, full strength Kansas was a good team this year.
True. Yeah, I think if I lose, that will really cost me. If I win, it'll help me. That's what I think that'll be.
Yes. Yeah, right. If UConn somehow loses tonight, you
'Cause
would
I
much
would-
rather had 50K on
Correct.
14-1.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right,
Big
Pete.
Ev, what did you take?
I have
you have UConn.
I've got the same number as Dave. I'd say
Yeah.
like 2 days before Dave.
Yeah.
Like 360.
Yep. All right.
And Jeff D-Lowe's going to be watching with us.
Yep.
He's
pumped.
excited. Says
He's
the-
nervous.
I
First
don't-
time
I don't
anybody's
know.
rooting for his teams.
I
Jeff's been
don't
going around
know.
collecting karma today. He's been pushing at chairs at restaurants. He's been paying for stuff. He's doing everything he can. It does make me nervous though that everybody here seems to be on.
Dan
UConn.
was trying to paint me as maybe a mojo killer because the
I asked the question. You're getting upset about questions.
The Huskies reached out.
I asked you. Your excuse or your answer made a lot of sense.
You came in, but so,
I didn't know if I was allowed to bring this up, so I'm glad somebody else did.
yeah. So the Huskies asked to meet Miss Peaches, the team, Dan Hurley, but it was late. It was 9:45. We're on West Coast time. We've been waking up at 4:35. She was tired. I was tired. We said no. I also gave it thought. I don't like mixing mascots. It's a Husky versus a pit bull. The Husky didn't travel. I don't want to be looking like I'm trying to replace the Husky. So.
Once you said that, it made perfect sense. Look, before a big bet, you're thinking about everything. You're doing like extra karma thing. I told you this. I got back to my room last night, and this was sitting on the nightstand in a package. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And then I remember that Dan Hurley wears something similar, and I was like, that's a great sign. I'm going to wear it. It's stupid shit like that.
If Peaches met UConn loses, that creates all sort of bad will
Agreed.
towards
Agreed.
Peaches
I
that
just
she
wanted
doesn't
your
need.
explanation because when I heard that you didn't go, I was like, I just hope Dan Hurley's not like. And if Kentucky tried to call Dan Hurley's agent, I'm going to be so mad.
Dan Hurley's not going there.
If they hit you up tonight and say, I know it's late, but we want to meet her again. We want to meet her now
tonight's
that you.
tough.
Yeah, probably not.
He's busy.
All right.
And I don't think if they win the championship, they're going to be like,
let's meet Miss Peaches.
although that would be the biggest compliment to Miss Peaches ever.
Maybe they will the way
Yeah.
it's going. Who knows?
Should be the new we're going to Disney World.
Yeah. We want to meet Miss Peaches.
The UFC guys, same thing.
Yeah. No. Purdue's up last 10 minutes? No. I don't even know what I could do there. You mean bet Purdue? No. No. I'm going to smash my phone probably and just let it go. I'm just sticking with this. I'm either going to lose $600,000 or I'm going to win $2.1 million, and that's the way it's going to be.
The only way I could see myself hedging in any little capacity is if Donovan Clingan gets 2 fouls in like 5 minutes. Yeah. And then I might freak out, but I might do the same where someone has to just take my phone. Oh, I was going to say, I've never watched a UConn game with Jeff. I hope it's not Cleveland Browns, Jeff, because I don't need that energy.
Jeff's saying brutal.
Cleveland Browns, Jeff, they'll kick the ball off, and it will be like a touchback, and it'll be like, fucking terrible, brutal. We're over. It's over.
He's positive, UConn.
Yeah. All right. I mean, yeah, you have to be.
That's what good teams do for you.
Yeah. Changes. Yeah, it's like Frank like dealing with like the Devils versus dealing with the Mets.
Yeah. Although he's anti-Devils
Yeah,
now, I
he
think.
is.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, and how Kevin's been trying to like horn back in on Frank was right. Kevin's now super negative again with the Mets.
Oh yeah, he canceled the season after a week.
Yeah,
They are awful.
Well,
so
they are
bad.
no
So
kidding.
bad.
Frank's
We are
been right.
so bad.
Well, the
entire time.
Uncle Stevie stuff has not aged well.
No, it hasn't.
No, it has not.
No, it has. Do you see? He actually tweeted the other day, Uncle Stevie. We need some positivity, and I quote tweeted Adam next time and tagged Frank. Like somebody's like, let's give Lindor a standing O when he comes back. A random person and Uncle Stevie's like, we need that type of positivity. It's like, all right, well, we know who you're talking about.
He denied Frank a picture last time he saw him.
I know.
What I love about
crazy.
Frank too is with all the support and love he's been getting, like he's had superstars doing walks with him, just telling him what a great guy you are, Frank. That's so inspirational. I'm so happy with everything you're doing. And then he just starts talking about the Mets, and he still flies off the handle.
Yeah.
Still as upset as ever about everything else.
It's beautiful.
All right. Well, that's the show. Thank you guys for coming out.
Yep.
And let's go Huskies.
Yeah,
A
let's
big
go
couple
Huskies.
hours coming up. We got an hour till tip.
Yeah, we got to eat some dinner. We got an hour till tip.
Let's go Huskies.
Oh, and here's the preview for mini golf this week.
Perfect.
The time has come.
No fucking way! Fuck you! No fucking chance! Don't leave it!
Yeah, probably the last time we ever do this.
The return of the only idea Hank Lockwood has ever had. The Barstool Mini Golf Open arrives in Chicago, so for the first time, the shots can be heard north of the river. Who will win it all this year? Could it be a man with a fine line separating greatness from insanity? No! Will it be an actual fine line?
This is what I'm talking about! This is what the people want!
First-timers who don't even know their handicap. and others whose handicap we all know.
And I didn't say a racial slur, at least. I mean...
Some have their entire reputation on the line, and in order to succeed, need to keep their eyes on the prize. When a margin of less than a foot toe the line between victory and defeat,
How the fuck is that not enough arch, dude? Look at that arch.
Oh my God.
and no live crowd to shush,
I'm baffled by the
No,
amount
Jeff,
of noise
it was-
in here. It's a lot of
Jeff is gonna
ruckus.
get
A lot of ruckus in the bar.
the only enemy is their own head.
Time out! Out of the fucking basement. Fucking weirdo.
Are we getting this?
A cash prize is anybody's for the taking, and to some, it's not about the money, but the immortality that comes with a win.